It is Saturday, August 22nd, 2026. It is 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and so you know what time it is. It's time for the D shift. And I gotta tell you, man, there's certain things about this market, this space, that I really don't like. And one of those things is exchanges cheating and people cheating on exchanges. What I mean by that is I got liquidated the other day in a way that doesn't seem like it should be legal, honestly. I had like fucking zero warning. Like I didn't even see the fucking fact that I got the order to go through. I didn't even see that before all my money was gone. The fucking page reloaded and everything was gone. And I just said, well, where's all my money? Now, on this particular exchange, I've tried doing stop losses. I've tried doing take profits too. And what invariably happens is the bot that they have counter trading me will make the fucking trade happen on the stop loss, and then it'll go back into the direction that I intended it to go. And it's just like, do I have somebody sitting over my shoulder fucking saying, do this, and then he'll be able to delete his fucking order? I mean, come on, man. And I watch for stuff like that, like, okay, what could be explained by it's just a glitch, it was just a network thing, what could be attributed to chance and normal activity on such an exchange. And what I experienced yesterday does not seem like normal anything. And more importantly, because it didn't just happen on the coin that I got burned on. It happened across all the exchanges that I could see, and it happened on Bitcoin and multiple other coins at the same exact time. Now that kind of coordination, to me it doesn't seem like it should be possible, because it happened in a fucking millisecond. It happened so fucking fast, there was no possible way to, like short of not actually putting the fucking order in, there was no possible way to react to what happened. See, to me, that reads of collusion, and that reads of duplicity. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm hesitant as to whether or not I'm going to continue trading on BTCC. And there are other reasons too, like, I've sat here and I put in a fucking I put in like a open to short or open to long, right? And I've literally sat here and watched the price go above and below the line of the order that I just put in, and it didn't go off. I had one the other day. It pissed me off so bad because I put in this order, and I thought that it went through. I thought that it initiated. So I just went to another page, or started doing some other stuff. I come back at about 2 o'clock in the morning. Like if I wasn't an abnormally, somebody goes to sleep late. If I wasn't already a fucking night owl, I wouldn't have caught this. But it was a short. I put in a short order, right? And it never engaged. I mean, I should have sat there and waited for it to fucking happen and then just drag it to if it did, because I knew it was going to fucking go down. So it goes down, my order doesn't go off, right? And then it stays down and it goes even deeper for about a day. And then it turns around and starts coming back the second day. And 2 a.m., the day after I put in that order, it went off. Only this time, it went off because the fucking thing was going long. It had been short the whole fucking time that I thought I had the order in. And now it's going long and I'm losing fucking money. How the fucking... So I'm like I said, I'm fucking hesitant. You know, if I put in an order and I can't count on the fucking exchange to get the order, and then, except for when it's going in the actual opposite direction, I mean, I know it's too much to expect them to give a shit about which direction it's going, because they make money either way. But they make more if they fuck me over, right? See, that's the thing. I put the fucking order in, I put it in on time, and it didn't matter. They just said, you don't deserve any of that money, fuck you. Or at least that's the way it felt. I mean, BTCC, maybe you need to fucking upgrade your exchange, or maybe improve your fucking internet connection. Of course, it's not really in your interest, because this way you just get to rob people. But, like I said, I'm just flabbergasted. Anywho, as far as what we're going to get into today, I'm going to be getting into a bit of a differential. And it's... I think it's a leftover from the Biden administration, because they were a fucking bunch of lawless kooks. They're even worse than the Trump administration. I think that the Trump administration is flexing it a little harder this time around, because the first time proved that they could get away with a little bit, and Biden showed them that they could get away with shutting down the entire fucking country over a cold. So, you know, you take from that what you will, as far as like what lesson you want to learn there. But again, there were a few initiatives that were began under Biden that are not constitutional in any way, shape, or form. And one of them that we're going to talk about today, it actually began before Biden, and I think it was either Obama or Bush, one of those monkeys that passed the NFA. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that differential between what they can actually enforce and what they say they want to do and what their goals are. Because more and more, it's turning out that we can actually ignore them, and that we are actually the ones in power that if we chose to ignore them, they would simply shut the fuck up about a lot of the crazy shit they're trying to regulate. And you know, that's one of my favorite things to talk about on this show is attempts to regulate crypto, because I don't believe it's possible, number one. I don't think that our legislators are mentally capable of contemplating exactly what that would mean, exactly what it would entail, as far as like what kind of activities they would have to engage in order to enforce their will, you know, those kinds of things. And when it comes down to the rubber hitting the road, there's a sobriety period, a sobering up, if you will. And I believe we are coming into that for a few things, as a matter of fact. You know, one of which I find humorous, kind of, is NATO. You know, recently Turkey had some assets in Syria, which they volunteered, and Syria invited them, and they were happy to receive them. Well, Israel said, oh no, we can't have that. You're trying to take over land that we took over, and you know, you can't have it back. And so they shot Turkey's assets. Well, that's an act of war. To militarily strike somebody who has not been aggressive toward you, has not attacked you, has not done anything to deserve being attacked. And so now NATO's in a pickle because Turkey is one of the founding members of NATO. Only NATO's supposedly on our side, and we're supposedly against Iran, so that makes us, by default, against Turkey. And so we're having to figure this out. Are we a member of NATO, or are we going to be shitbags and attack sovereign countries without any consideration for how that might impact our standing in the planet? Well, I think we're going to be finding out over the next year or two, probably, exactly what our activities, both in the Middle East in general and Europe, are going to be buying us. And I think we're going to find ourselves relatively isolated from the Eurozone and Asia, as a matter of fact. And only because that's the effect of trying to use your money and trying to use your trade as a means of punishing other countries that won't do exactly what you fucking want them to do, even though your demands are unreasonable and outside the scope of you even fucking requesting them. So yeah, it's going to be really fun for the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. But you know, I thought about this a lot, and I'm growing more hesitant about being really judgmental against Trump on this one, because something had come to my mind. That realistically speaking, Trump's activities and the way he's conducted the quote-unquote war on terror or war with Iran or whatever, that he's probably getting us the most bloodless outcome imaginable, and not just for the United States, like pretty much everybody. Because we could have tried to go full boots on the ground by now. You know, we could have really doubled down and really worked extra hard at trying to establish that air dominance, even though it was proving fucking impossible. And, you know, we could do that. We could have done that. However, as everybody knows, in war, it's not taking land that is difficult. Taking land is easy. It's keeping land. Especially when you're 9,000 miles away from home. And the people you intended on taking over have managed to eliminate all of your refueling and resupply depots within 4,000 kilometers of them. It's a little bit of a logistic challenge, you know? And, 1,000 miles between you and a good piece of bread, kind of hard to maintain war, you know? So yeah, I think it's getting really interesting. A lot of realities to be sobering up to, because things aren't going how people planned. And never mind that they planned it 40 fucking years ago or longer, and it's given the rest of the planet plenty of time to catch up. Never mind all that. We are where we are, and things on the ground aren't showing up the way they were on the paper. And so yeah, like I said, it's gonna be some sobering up going on out there. Anyway, for right now, let's go ahead and throw down some music. Then on the other side, we'll get into some articles. I got a few today. And just to let you know, I'm not going to be talking all about the mad rush that's been going on in crypto. I mean, because Bitcoin has definitely had a little bit of a recovery. I don't think it's permanent, and like I've said multiple times in the weeks leading up to this, I fully anticipated Bitcoin going to 70 to possibly even 80K before falling off a fucking cliff. And I think we're still in line with that thesis. And just to check and verify, I'm going to go ahead and zoom it on out. And yeah, there it is. Nice little spike. And you can see the same thing. Let's see here. I'm going to put that on a week. Even though I'm pretty sure I can point it out now. This, in my estimation, is basically March 22nd, 2021. Or that vicinity around there where Bitcoin had jumped a significant amount over a very short period. And then it fell in several legs down from there. And I really anticipate that's where this run is going. That you should probably start looking at shorting Bitcoin, because from all indications I'm seeing here, there's a pretty good likelihood that we've seen the top. And yeah, prepare for that backwardation, and trying to be picking some money up on the other side there, because like I said, I'm sizing it up by what's happened before, and to me, this looks like this last jump looks like it should have happened over a 2-week period. It happened over a 1-day period, and so I think the retrace is going to be equally as violent. I'm sure a lot of people got wiped out with that spike downward yesterday. You know, a lot of longs got wiped out. Well, I don't expect those people to be very happy, and they're probably not just jumping right back into trading. I know I didn't. I'm like, am I going to cancel this account that I've got with these guys, or am I going to still stick with BTCC? What am I going to do? I don't know. Anyway, like I said, let's go ahead and throw down with some music, and then we'll get back into that. So, as far as what song, I had one in mind. Yeah, here we go. Unexpected Patterns here on the D shift.
yet played. suppose also.
Alright, that's enough of that. And so, as far as what we're going to get into today, got a few things on the grill. The computer seems a little bit sluggish today. Starting to wonder if my cooling is a little out of alignment, but I think I managed to migrate it back just a little bit. Man, that wipeout is really going to hurt because fuck. I had plans, man. Got plans. Anywho, as far as what we're going to get into today, I wanted to start off on a slightly different tack. And it's because of this feeling I kept getting, and I still get it every once in a while, where I see something that's being proposed in legislation somewhere, and it doesn't seem to go as planned. You know, like I don't know how to describe that. The most recent one is the NFA, where a court recently struck down a little thing in. Well, let's just get into it. I've got articles here about it, so let me get to this. Where is it? Come on, pop up. Yeah, like I said, my desktop's getting a little sticky, so unfortunately it hasn't frozen, so. But yeah, so this is very important, where these legislators had gotten ahead of themselves and start thinking that they can incrementally delete the Second Amendment just a little bit at a time by licensing it away from us and registering it away from us and all that other bullshit. And so I got this thing. It's on concealandcarry.com. Federal judge strikes down NFA registration for suppressors and SBRs. And this is by Jacob Paulson. It was authored on August 6th, 2026. Update. As of August 13th, the DOJ declined to appeal this court decision. They have up to 60 days to do so, but there isn't any indication that they will, which means that the decision stands. The NSSF has requested the ATF to issue guidance to the registry so that FFLs can support gun owners in purchasing these items and remain compliant with the law. In short, hopefully we get more clarity soon from the ATF that will guide your local gun dealer on how to proceed. You know what? We should just abolish the ATF altogether. Their mandate is unconstitutional. Continuing. Last summer, the House passed a version of the One Big Beautiful Bill that would have pulled suppressors, short-barreled rifles, and short-barreled shotguns out of the National Firearms Act entirely. No registration, no fingerprints, no waiting 6 months on a Form 4. Then the Senate parliamentarian got hold of it. On July 3rd, 2025, Elizabeth McDonough ruled that the deregulation language violated the Byrd Rule, which governs what can ride along in a reconciliation bill. Anything not sufficiently tax-related had to come out. The deregulation came out. The tax cuts stayed in. So, on January 1st, 2026, the transfer and making tax on suppressors, SBRs, SBSs, and any other weapons dropped to $0. The entire registration apparatus built to collect that tax stayed exactly where it was, which left gun owners in a genuinely stupid position. You still submitted fingerprint photographs and detailed application, and you still waited for the ATF to approve a purchase you had already paid for, all to prove you had paid a tax of $0. Now a judge in Texas has declared that is unconstitutional. They were trying to have their cake and eat it too, bust you for not registering. What the court actually said. The case is Silencer Shop Foundation v. ATF, decided by U.S. District Judge James Wesley Hendricks in the San Angelo Division of the Northern District of Texas. A second case, Jensen v. ATF, was transferred in from Amarillo to the Amarillo Division and consolidated into it. The opinion runs 66 pages. Here's the whole argument in one paragraph. Congress passed the NFA in 1934 under